Five, four, three.
Gives us time to warm up. No, it's okay. Hey everybody, welcome to JC and the Beardless. We're your hosts. I'm JC.
I'm the Beardless, and today we're going to talk about the real dark, grimy truth of plastic straws.
Oh my gosh. Dun dun dun.
You didn't see this coming, did you? You didn't know that there was a murderer lurking in your McDonald's
In the ocean.
cup. In the ocean, yeah. We'll talk to you about that. We'll let you know the real truth. And JC, you found some research on that, right? Some kind of verifiable data to give you
Yes,
the real, truthful story of straws.
I did what you're supposed to do.
How you can't leave your kids at home if you have plastic straws in the kitchen.
You have to put them in a safe,
Oh yeah.
and then you got to put that safe in a safe. Lock it all up real tight. If
And
you
do-
have a straw, and you better be well trained on how to use that straw.
So if I have a straw, okay,
Mhm.
and I'm walking around in the store, if I hide the straw in my jacket, do I need a concealed straw carry permit?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Kinda
See,
dumb
that's how dangerous they
But
are.
here,
Y'all didn't know
here's a
about
fun
this.
fact. Here in Louisiana, you can open carry your straws.
Oh,
So you
open
can
carry
have a
the
straw as long as it's not concealed.
Okay. Okay.
Also, you know a lot of people like to keep their straws on their nightstands at night.
But the most important thing,
But if
though,
you have
is,
kids, don't do that.
was to teach your kids young how to safely,
safely
use
handle a
straws,
straw.
how to handle the straws, how to
So they don't
respect.
hurt- yeah, they
the
got to learn to
straw.
respect a straw.
Right.
It's a dangerous instrument.
Yeah, and they won't be as dangerous if they grow up learning to
Yeah.
respect them.
What other topics are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about the Unite the Right 2 rally, which there was only a couple of dozen people there, but the left seems to think it was the end of the world, that there was like 20 racists in
Dude,
D.C.
There is a Nazi uprising. Don't minimize this.
I know. 21 day, 200,000 the next week.
300
It's-
million the
it's
next.
that-
That's
that
right.
easy,
The
right?
entire
That's how it
American
works?
population.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have?
We're going to talk about Chelsea Clinton. Talking
And her
about
beautiful facts about
how
abortion.
killing babies increases the economy.
Because that's, yeah.
Bet you can't wait
logic,
to hear
man.
about that one. Yeah, it's
That makes
clear
sense.
logic.
Because, like, the less people you have, the more stuff you can sell, right?
Right. And we're going to start 2 new segments, and one's going to be called The Surprise of the Month.
Surprise.
And so it's August now. We're going to tell you our biggest surprise from July. Tell you
then-
what kind of shocked us the most in the world.
And you can guess the pattern. Next
Right.
month, it'll be October. August. Gosh.
Okay, and then our other segment we're going to do, which will probably be a recurring
I know my months.
a recurring segment, is Trump a racist? I think is Trump a racist?
Yes.
We're probably going to be able to do that one monthly as well.
Yeah. So
the
every
way the
month we'll
media,
decide,
reacts
is
to
Trump a racist this month?
I mean, we might have to do a special, extra edition whenever they
You know,
find the
something's
mysterious tape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
The one where they can't prove that something's not on it because they
right
can't
prove
hear
that
it.
something's not, but it is, but haven't seen, but can't release that. Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're not allowed to. Okay. Anywho,
yeah.
well, yeah, that sounds like a great show to me.
All right, well let's entertain them a little bit with
Yeah,
this
let's
straw
get
story.
started.
We
Okay,
already
so,
filled them in, got them scared a little bit, got them worried. They're gripping their children right now. Let's show them what
yeah,
you got.
any straws that they've got open, they're concealing or putting away now.
Right, they just hit them. Yep, go
Yep.
for it.
Good. I'm proud of you all for being responsible. So we did some research, and you will not believe the facts.
I'm ready. I
Are you
made
ready?
myself ready for it. Yeah,
I
I'm
need
ready
to.
for
I
it.
need to see you prepare.
I'm prepared.
Okay, I believe you now.
Prepared.
So, the U.S. makes up less than. Are you still preparing? Did
No,
I start
I'm,
too early?
I'm good now. No, I'm good now. I'm
Okay.
good now. Yeah.
The U.S. makes up less than 1% of global plastic pollution. Less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Yes.
No wonder the media is going crazy about it, and California wants to
Hey
start
man, less than 1%
civil
is
war
a
over
lot.
straws.
It's like the lower you go, the worse it is, right?
Oh wow!
I
so
think
if
that's
we
how it
hit
works.
0, it's apocalypse. Straw apocalypse.
That's whenever the plastic.
pretty close.
That's whenever the plastic has become its own country.
So we're less than how much of plastic?
Less than 1%. We're at, I believe, right now 0.6%.
Okay, so that means we're at 11:59 on the doomsday clock for plastic
Oh
Armageddon.
yeah, we're very close to Plastigeddon.
All right, so how much of this is straws? If that's
Okay,
just
so-
plastic, how much is plastic straws?
Now this is why straws are so dangerous. You just can't just act like it's not a problem, man, because 0.02% of that pollution that we cause is straws.
0.02.
Do
That's
you
a
realize how
whopper.
close we are to that zero?
I know. I mean, that's 11:59, and the seconds are on like 58.
Yeah,
We're almost there.
we're so close.
Hug your children. Go home and hug your children right now.
Tell them you love them.
Tell them you love them.
You may never see them again. The
Throw
straws are
all
coming.
your straws in the trash.
Brace yourselves.
Yeah.
The straws are coming.
Okay, but so on a serious note, so this whole artificial uprising of straw apocalypse made by the left, and of course, what Starbucks got in on it, and who else? Of course, like San Francisco and Seattle, and
I'm pretty
it's
sure New York.
so they based
didn't
no
it?
data on it.
Okay, well here's where it came
There was
from.
no
Do you,
date-
do you know
okay.
where it came from?
All I remember is there was a picture with a turtle with a straw in his nose.
Okay, no. Well, that's gotten a lot of.
But they're like,
I mean,
if
they're
that
using that.
happens,
It's a
how
tool.
rare is that? It must not be that rare because we would have never seen it.
Well, it's a tool that they use, yes, but that's not where this came from. Where this came from was there's in 2011. I don't remember what year it was actually, but there was a kid whose name I've also forgotten. I'm forgetting a lot of the major details here.
Oh yeah, it was like a science
He
project.
did a
at
science
school.
project when he
Okay,
was 9
I
years
got
old,
you.
and he did some math and found out that in America we use 500 or 5 million straws a day in America. So and he said that equates to, if you put them inside of a school bus, it would fill up a school bus. And that's the stat they base this on. But what they're not taking into account is the way that we dispose of our plastic. We actually do it in a more responsible way than most countries. We
Right.
don't just throw it into the ocean like most of Asia.
Right.
So
Yeah. So what countries did you say were kind of the main problem when it comes to plastic waste?
well, Asia.
Asia,
It,
just
it
Asia
makes
in
up
general.
it makes up like at least 65%. It's more
Right.
than that. I just can't remember what it is. I think I have.
Facts and numbers,
Numbers
data
and
too.
facts. Okay,
Alright.
so this isn't the one I was looking for.
Okay.
But it does have some interesting stuff on here.
Oh my
China.
goodness, what does China do? Do they take their so it's at the end of the week, they got their garbage, they just pick it up,
Throw it in the
walk
ocean.
down to the beach or the river, and they're like, bye-bye, and they
Yes.
just throw their trash in there? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's actually a really.
Dean, you're going to have to put this picture overlay because
Well,
China
it's
is
an article.
dirty. It's dirty.
It's an article. It's gonna be linked.
Okay.
But
Still, they need to see this picture just to get the oomph
well, they can.
when we're talking
you
about
wanna
it. Yeah, just pop that up real quick
Okay.
because that is...
So what it says here is that this bar right here is mismanaged plastic waste, and it's measured in metric tons. And China is at 8.80 million, or 8.8 million.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. is at 0.3
Wow.
million,
And it
and it's
surprises
the lowest
me-
one on the chart.
See, that's what's making me wonder what China's habits are with disposing of their garbage. Because look at Brazil. Brazil is only at 0.5, and they basically have to build their towns out of leftover trash and plastic, and it just gets blown over in a bad storm into the ocean, and they're still only 0.5. So, man, wow.
And then there's actually two charts here. The second one there is plastic marine debris is what it says. So the waste
Okay.
that they've actually thrown into the ocean
Right.
is 3.53 million metric tons for China, and for us it's 0.11 metric
0.11.
tons.
0.11.
0.11.
So really, absolutely almost nothing compared to where the real problems are coming from. So,
Yeah.
I mean, so honestly, can we go ahead and say that we've just saved all these people heartache, trauma, tears, worry? We've just solved the straw
we
apocalypse
just solved the straw apocalypse
right now with just a few numbers, with just some
Yeah.
good old fashioned data. People, you don't have to stop using your straws. Starbucks, grow up. Stop.
San Francisco, grow up.
Yeah, stop bowing down to every Twitter mob that starts. It's the same people, okay? Oh my God, 20,000 people are outraged at straws. Those same 20,000 people are the ones that are outraged at everything.
Was it only 20,000? I would think it'd be
Well,
more than that.
I don't know. Sometimes the mob doesn't. I've seen department stores bow down to 8,000 retweets. It's
That's
like,
so dumb.
there's like over 300 million people in the United States, right? And those 8,000 people are, like I said, are the same groups.
It's
There's
a
just,
loud minority is what it is.
there's a very loud Twitter mob minority that gets these things done, and no one else cares. But they're the only ones that do care. But they care every time on every subject, and that's the problem here. Is that we keep bowing down to these people that's their hobby. Is how can I get mad now? Wake up today. How can I get mad today?
Yeah.
Oh, I stepped on gum on the sidewalk. I bet there's a gum epidemic. Let me find some kid's science project and talk about how we need to ban gum. So, yeah, you're welcome, America. Boom, right here from JC and the Beardless.
I think this might have been a soft spot for you.
Yeah, a little bit, because it was one of those things that. Just roughly looking at estimated numbers, I was like, no, America does a really good job taking care of their garbage.
That's what I really want to establish, that we don't need to reform the way we're handling our plastic. You can use your plastic cups. You can use your water bottles. You can use your straws. It doesn't matter because we're handling it well in the post. Right. And we're not contributing in any significant way to the global plastic pollution.
Right, and if ours is as bad as they say it is, then China will have us buried under plastic straws within the decade. Okay?
True.
So there's no way that we're having that big of a footprint and an impact. We're actually doing a really good job in America. We're clean. We like to bury the trash or burn the trash.
Or recycle it. There's a
or
lot of
recycle
recycling
the
going
trash.
on here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I mean, America is kind of conscious of that, and it shows in this graph.
Yeah,
and it shows which countries aren't conscious of it.
This graph was not created, after the straw thing happened.
Right. This is
how we've been for decades. This is how we've handled our waste.
Right.
We handle it well because we do care. Sorry, 20,000 Twitter mobbers.
Right. Yeah.
But we already cared.
All right. Well, so
annoying.
Since we fixed one crisis.
Is that what we do on this show? We just
fix people's lives, basically. You don't need to read books. You don't need self-help.
That's going to be our slogan, Fixing America one podcast at a time.
Fixing America one podcast at a time. I like it. Yeah. We should do that.
There you go.
And people don't need therapy anymore?
No.
Not really, no.
I mean, I'm a psych major, so that's kind of that's
therapy,
not good for me, but we're putting me out of business by giving me a business. That's weird.
Okay, so let's talk about our next topic then. Let's solve another crisis, okay? So we talked about straws being dangerous. What about the racist next door?
There is a Nazi uprising in America. This is something to be concerned about. This is the majority of the population, the white population, and I'm not comfortable with it.
Right. So basically, according to USA Today and The Hill, if you live in a house and there's a white person to the left of you, or white family, and a white family to the right of you, you are 100% surrounded by racists. Basically. That's about how bad it's gotten.
My neighbors are white.
Are they racist? Most likely.
I mean, you just told me they were.
Yeah. So I would be very careful.
Man.
What's crazy though is if that's true, that means one of us must be a racist, and we don't even know it yet.
Yeah, because my neighbors on the other side are white too.
Yeah, so we haven't figured it out yet, but there's something racist about us.
It must be my skin tone.
Yeah, it must be because we're white. I forgot all those. Yeah. Somehow our DNA and genetics create us to be racist because we're white people. So it just happens. It's just natural, right? It's just natural. Yeah. Okay, well let me tell you about it. So we had the Unite the Right 2 rally, which was a sequel to Charlottesville.
Yes.
That ended poorly, so most people are like, well, forget it. Most people aren't racist anyway or white supremacists. So guess what? They said, let's do it in D.C., in the heart of the nation's capital, and let them know who we are. And like 24 people showed up. 24. And then there was 1,000 protesters and Antifa people out there for 20 people. Yeah, for 20 people. What's sad is the left thinks that such a small group of people can be such a giant threat. It's like they had to send 1,000 people out there and protest the entire time because 20 people were meanies. Those people are meanies. We have to spend our entire day, they're probably not employed anyway, doing whatever they're doing to shout these people down. So the greatest part is what happens afterwards, okay? So USA Today is like, basically their article was there was only a couple of dozen people at the Unite the Right 2 rally, but racism is still on the rise. And I'm like, shouldn't that? I mean, it's like way less than there was at Charlottesville at a bigger venue. I was thinking, you know what, that should be, that doesn't sound right. So I'm like, okay, you got me. I'll read the article. You clickbaited me, okay? And so I read it, okay? So basically, they talked about only a couple of dozen showed up, but they said, there's a rise on it. There's a rise because they held a second rally a year later. And it's like, yeah, but there was only 20 people. But
they're like, one person to hold 2 rallies. Yeah, I just want to point that out.
Right. So
I can hold multiple rallies.
But yeah, so basically they're like, forget all of that. There was a poll, dun, 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 a poll, okay? So a Reuters poll that polled people. And it asked them questions like, are white people currently under attack in this country? All right? And 39% said yes.
Does that make you a racist?
I agree. Does it so my point is, every time they open a newspaper, watch mainstream media, all they hear is white people, white privilege. Yeah. White people are this. White people need to back up and let minorities take charge. Down with Whitey. Crackers gotta be hating. Okay, that's all they hear.
I don't know where you heard that last one, but I want to watch that news source.
It's verified, okay? I'll look it up. I'll post it next time.
That was the most heart-wrenching of the articles.
Yeah, the crackers got to be hating.
So if you think that whites are being attacked in America, that officially makes you racist?
Yeah, so just because you think whites have the ability to be attacked because we're not so privileged that we can't be attacked, you're racist. Because white people are too privileged to be attacked.
But what race are you hating on by saying that?
I don't know. That's the point. That's what the person in the article was like, can you believe this? That they think white people are being attacked. And it's like, duh, because they are. Yeah. They're being attacked all the time.
And we never said it's not by other white people.
Right? Yeah. Most of the time it is.
Most of the time it is.
White people in left media are just, talking about how the white person should be pretty much erased. I mean, come on, New York Times just hired that one woman, the Asian woman, who had them insane racist tweets.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, insane racist tweets. Like
straight up kill the whites.
Straight up death to Whitey, basically. And it's like, no, we don't feel like we're being attacked. We deserve that. We're white people. We can handle it. So to me, the opposite is true. If you say we can handle it and other people can't handle it, that's more racist.
Yeah. So it's okay. They're weaker.
Yeah, I know. That's what it feels like. Is the left is being racist by saying we're so privileged racism doesn't affect us. That's racist.
You remember when Black Lives Matter had that? What was it? I want to say it was Memorial Day or something like that. They had a party. This was last year, I believe, and you could not attend if you were white.
Right. Yep.
How is that not racist?
Right. But no one else is doing these things against minorities.
Yeah.
Like there was
if we did that, that would be the end of white people as we know it. They'd just kill us all for trying that.
I know this last academic year there was one university that had a group that would hold events but wouldn't let white people join. And finally they got shot down and they were like, look, y'all can't do this anymore.
That's racism.
That's actually racist.
Hey, guess what? To discriminate based on skin color / race.
Right.
Racism.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's a white person doing it, a black person doing it, or someone of Asian descent doing it. It's still racist.
There's a viral video, or was viral, of a woman in college, I believe. It might have been high school, but I think it was college. Getting into a debate with a white dude, of course, and she was not white. And I don't know what she was, but she was, I don't know. But she gets into a debate in the middle of class during one of his speeches or something about how white people are the only ones that can be racist. And if you're a minority, you can't be racist because you're a minority. And white people can't be subject to racism because they're white. And she goes on this whole thing, and of course the class is cheering for her the whole time. And
when it makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Makes no sense. They're cheering for
the
something.
word
that
racism
has
no
logic.
caveat.
Right.
The word racism means that if you're discriminated based on your race, the person discriminating is a racist.
All
That
right.
is racism.
Since we talked about it, let me get to the next part. There's another part of the poll, okay? All right, so it said 31% said they want to protect white European heritage. And so I think that just falls in line with the other thing. If you think that someone's trying to destroy your entire history and culture,
Yeah.
you're going to think you're attacked and you're going to want to preserve it, right?
Yeah.
Like if someone, what's your favorite band?
Man, that's too big a question, bro.
Oh God, just give me one.
Oh man, don't put me on a spot like
Just
this.
give me
I'm gonna
one.
give you a little band that you've never heard of.
Okay, go for it.
Alarm the Arrival.
Alarm the Arrival. Okay, so if your favorite band is Caleb's giving us a nasty face right now. Like, dude,
It's
really?
It's not my
Dude,
favorite band.
really?
It's just a.
Okay.
Anyways, I know the guy.
Is there an inside joke or something? Okay.
I just know the guy that used to
okay.
be in. It was like
So
10 years
say
ago.
that people are saying this band is irrelevant and the music's stale and they should phase out, never be played again, never be respected as
Okay, they don't exist
music.
anymore. So.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Jonathan. You're killing my analogy over here. Wouldn't you say, well, let me get some heirlooms, some discs, let me create some stuff and make people aware and hold like get-togethers or concerts or make bands that tribute, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to preserve it, right? Before it disappears. That's all these people are saying is they're like, well, the white European culture, and I mean, that's the pollsters' fault for even wording it that way. They probably could have just said Western civilization culture and gotten the same response. It's because they think it's going to be killed off. If you think your culture is going to die and go away, you want to hold on to it.
Well, there's that, and also we live in a pretty great country, and guess what? It's because of white European culture.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the
That's where it
white
came
Western
from.
civilization, European culture is kind of the fundamentals
And
of
I'm
what
not
the
saying
United
like
States was built on.
I'm not saying it's because they're white. I don't know why it happened, but they just, came up with the best way to do it.
Right. There's lots of factors that go into it, but it just happened to be white people that culture developed in. It has less to do with race than it has to do with the culture and the science
And again,
the philosophy.
I don't see the victim here.
Right. Because if a black person or Hispanic person said they wanted to preserve their culture, we would be like, well, yeah, you need to make sure it doesn't disappear. Like,
Hey.
come be American, but, keep part of that culture so we can all have that for the rest of our life and everybody can learn it and experience it. If a white person does it, whoo.
If you went to Greece where their economy sucks
Mm-hmm.
and said, do you want to hold on to your Greek cultural ancestry? They're going to say yes.
Yeah.
Even though it ended up garbage,
Right.
they're still going to say yes.
Right.
It's a heritage thing. Yes. You want to preserve where you came from. That's just logical.
Right.
It's in your DNA to want to hold on to where you came from. That's why people that are born in America, that their parents weren't born in America, still hold on to culture that their parents brought with them, even though they have nothing to do with that country.
Right. Right.
They're
Still a part of
American.
you. Yeah.
Technically, they're not anything to do with those other countries. They're American, and they were born
Right.
American. But they want to hold on to that heritage because it's natural. That's
Right.
That's in our DNA.
And here's the thing, like preserving white heritage doesn't mean preserving slavery of the Civil War. White
No.
heritage goes back for thousands of years.
And you don't hold on
You
to
don't
every
hold
single
on to the
tradition.
bad stuff. You hold on to the good stuff because that's
And-
what helps you develop.
There were slaves in Africa.
Right. Well,
There
there
were
were slaves all over the world.
The Barbary
at
countries,
any time,
the Barbary states were known for their slavery
Yeah. Right.
of their own people, African people that they found around them, and white people.
Right. Yeah, so I doubt, there's probably 1% of the people that were racist or less. There's probably like 0.2% that were like, I want to preserve white culture because white culture used to dominate minorities. But most people are not thinking about the negatives. They're thinking about the positive things from culture.
Like free enterprise.
All right, but here again, that's only a 39% and a 31%. It's not like it's these astronomical numbers that make you think racism is on the rise. Now, watch this next one, and it's great because the author, you have to look at the article because after he states this one, he's like, what is that? Like, how? What? Like, okay, so the next number is, but in this same poll, 89% of people said they wanted all races to be treated equally. 89% in this poll wanted all races to be treated equally. So he's freaking out
It's almost
because
as if
30-something% said, well, we feel like white people are being attacked and we kind of need to preserve the culture. But we think everybody should be treated equal. And he's like, I don't get it. How would they answer it that way if they feel this way? It's because he's thinking about it from the wrong point of view.
it's almost as if my skin color and the fact that my ancestors also had white skin has nothing to do with my opinion on racism.
Right, exactly. My favorite part of the article is how he's setting all of this up that racism
And
is
it doesn't make
growing,
any sense.
but it's like 89% think
Yeah.
everybody should be treated equally. He's like, what? How could this many people, how could the percent be so high when 30-something% said that white people are being attacked?
So in the most skewed article you could find, they proved in their article that they disproved their own point.
Right. How many times have we looked at a leftist article, and if you actually read the whole thing and they actually say, okay, I have to be legitimate and put data in there, they disprove their whole argument.
Oh yeah. Or if you read it and they don't do that, and then you go look up the data later.
Yeah.
It also.
Yeah. So real quick to top off Unite the Right too. So the DC Metro, the manager of it, they're all like, you better not treat these racist equally. Don't give them special treatment. Don't give them a special train car or anything, okay? Remember, there's only 20-something of them, okay? So he's like, no, I'm not going to treat them special. They're not going to get any perks or anything. So the day of course, there's 20-something. That's not going to cause congestion. But what will cause congestion?
Thousands of protesters.
Yeah, thousands of protesters will cause congestion. So he's like, all right, we need to get the special cars out. And then there was one special car. And then they had a bunch of the white supremacists, and they were cop escorted onto the car for their safety because I guess things were getting a little.
Yeah.
And now the union is calling for the guy to get fired.
So you better not protect him from us trying to kill him.
Right. You should have let us beat them up and kill them. Now you need to get fired.
How dare you call the cops and protect their lives from us?
So it wasn't a car. It
It
wasn't a train car to be nice. It was just like, okay.
Security.
It was security. It's like, all right, there's only 20-something. Oh, that's great. We can handle this. Pack them all in here. Put some police officers on there, and we won't have any incidents because you don't want an incident to happen because then he will get fired.
Fun fact: you don't want people to die on your place of business.
Right. Exactly.
It's not good for business.
Yeah. So it's just another thing where the left is
I know the left doesn't understand that.
Like, should have had a V8 left. Should have had a V8. Because you're thinking on this, you are vitamin deficient if you think that you're going to get this guy fired.
That's the problem. They're vitamin deficient.
It's because all
we
they,
can solve
all they
America's
eat
problems.
is vegan food and soy lattes,
They're
and that's
missing-
what happens.
They're
You don't
lacking.
get all the
It's all
vitamins
the
and
protein
minerals.
they're lacking, man.
Yeah. And so they're trying to get the manager fired because of that
That's
one thing.
ridiculous.
Because the protesters congested everything. He needed to keep people from getting hurt and packed them with security and sent them there. So
ridiculous.
I just wanted to top that off. And, of course, The Hill was reporting that, and they were like, very spin toward the positive part of that. So, all right, well, that's all I have on that because it was 20 dumb people, and it created a national – 20 dumb people. Okay, whatever. All right, let's move on.
And they weren't even the dumbest of the dumb people, and that's pretty bad because they're white supremacists.
Right, I know.
It's about as dumb as it gets.
Right.
Gosh. All right, so in a few seconds, we're going to talk about Masterpiece Cake.
Oh, Masterpiece Cake Shop's in the news
what
again?
What did I say? I said something completely different.
Master Pete?
Master Pete.
Master Pete's Cake Shop.
Master Pete's Cake Shop.
Tell me about Master Pete.
Masterpiece Cake. Hold on. In a few seconds, we're going to talk about Masterpiece Cake Shop. All right, let's talk about Masterpiece Cake Shop. So, you remember the? Do you remember the guy? Do you remember the guy that? You better turn that off.
It is. It's not.
Do you remember that guy the baker that got in trouble for not baking a cake for a homosexual?
Oh yeah, and he won his Supreme Court case, right?
Sort of, yes. For the I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't winning in the best way, but he won.
He won.
Yeah.
But as a whole, anywho,
right.
He's back in hot water because people intentionally are asking him to make things that they know he's not going to make.
Right. Right.
And then who was it that sued him? Who was it? The group that sued him?
That sued him?
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean they just turned it
first
into
time.
they turned it into that Colorado
That's what I'm talking about.
Commission on
That's what I'm talking about. The Colorado
discrimination
what is
or
it,
whatever.
The Civil Rights Commission.
It's like discrimination, I think.
Whatever
Something
it is.
like that.
The Colorado Civil Rights Commission. I'm being told that's correct.
The Devil's Banjo Band.
The
That's what it
Devil's
was.
Banjo Band is at it again.
Right.
They're going down to Georgia, and they're just picking on a fiddler.
Yeah. And that fiddler is Master
And that
P.
fiddler and that
his
fiddler
cake shop.
masterpiece cake shop. So apparently, I'm not going to tell you all of the things that he's been asked to make because some of them are very
Right.
inappropriate. But one of them was
We don't want to get our video taken
a
down.
celebration cake for a person's sexual transition.
Okay. That's the main one.
That's the main one that he's getting in trouble for. Also, I believe a pentagram
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
was
that
one of them. They
Mhm.
wanted him to make a devil worshipping cake.
Okay.
And
Hey
then
guys, enjoy our devil worshiping.
And then
cake,
the other
y'all.
one that I really don't want to say all of it, it involves the devil and a piece of anatomy that's inappropriate for a cake, regardless
like a
of your religious
phallic toy.
male
Phallic
part.
toy. There
A
you go.
phallic
Phallic
toy.
toy. There you go.
A phallic
That explains
toy.
it.
The devil licking a phallic toy.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, they know what
That's-
now.
that
What we're
you
talking
understand
about
now.
Okay. Okay. Well, look.
We would
it's-
like to
it's
take this moment to
reported.
thank our younger viewers.
They probably don't even know what
They
we
have
just
no
said,
idea what we're
so,
talking about,
okay,
hopefully.
Yeah. That's
Dude,
what
it's
we were
2018.
going for.
They know what we're talking about.
Well,
But
okay.
anyways,
move on. Let's
that's
move on. So the main one that got sent to
was the transition
was
one.
the transition cake. She wanted it.
And that's
She or
ridiculous.
he? He or she? It was a she though. Like the.
Well, it was a
like,
woman first?
It was a no. I think she was just. I don't think she's really.
You don't think she's really transitioned?
Yeah, I think they're just trying
You think
to get
she was
him
just
in
trying
trouble.
to get to him? I
yeah.
bet that's true because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure didn't she call
Did
in like a bunch
multiple
of them?
ones? Yeah.
I think she's the one that called in all three of those.
Okay, she wanted blue on the outside and pink on the inside for her
Yeah.
transition.
And
Yeah.
he said, "No."
He said, "No, it's against my religious beliefs."
Hey, guess what? You know how I was publicized for several years about being very strong in my religious beliefs and not baking cakes on things I don't believe in? Still doing that. So he said no. She went back to the Colorado Civil Rights Commission. I'm not good with words. The Colorado Civil Rights Commission, and I guess they're back at it. I don't know if they're gonna push it again.
Well, yeah, they've I think slapped him with a
Did they?
yeah with a fine or whatever again, or at least a
Yeah.
bad boy pat or something. But I mean, it's probably gonna go to the Supreme Court again. And here's my thing: is some people are like, oh, it's gonna have to be decided in a different way. My thing, it's the same
It's
commission.
the exact same case.
Wouldn't the Supreme Court just say it's the same commission? They were biased last time. They're still biased now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what
It's
they're
literally
doing.
the exact same case. It's the same commission. It's the same person.
Yeah. How would it be different? They can't say,
Defendant,
oh,
I
we're not
guess.
biased anymore.
Is it technically a lawsuit? Would he be a defendant? I don't
He
know.
would be doing the lawsuit. He has to sue them.
He has to sue them?
Yeah. He sued them last time. Yeah. Yeah. He has
Oh,
to
he's
sue
suing
them
them.
because they're the ones who did something illegal to him. So he had to sue them for it.
So if this does go to the Supreme Court again,
I think it'll just be the same.
I think either
I
it'll
don't think
be
it's. I don't think it's going to get up to the Supreme Court. I
Probably
think a
not.
lower court's going to be like, this is
Precedent.
similar. Yeah, they're going to
not
say from
similar.
precedent.
This is
This
identical.
is identical precedent. Slap it down.
This right here is the exact same case we
So
saw
I don't-
5 years ago.
I think it's going to get to. It's either going to get to the court, right, the first court,
and then
or
drop.
the second, and that's it.
If it did get to the Supreme Court, do you think this would be a good opportunity for another Kavanaugh?
Well, yeah, it will be. I just don't think it'll get there.
I
But
don't-
if
I
it
think you're
does,
right.
Kavanaugh,
Okay,
if he
if
gets
it
approved, he hasn't got
does-
approved yet.
If it does, that's ridiculous because the precedent is it's
Strong
The
and
precedent
recent.
is strong with this one, my
Yes,
friend.
very. So you can't get bigger precedent
You
than
literally
the same
could not get
plaintiff and
stronger
defendant.
precedent.
Yeah. Over
Look
the
at
same
it,
thing.
looking at the case. I don't see it. Yeah, you know, this is completely different.
but is the same? But is it though? Is this the
It's-
same?
Sir, this looks identical. I don't see it. I have a friend that she looks very much like an actress that I've seen on a show recently, and so I sent her a screenshot the show with this actress in it. I mean, she looks like a doppelganger to my friend. And so I sent it to my friend, and she was like, I don't see it. That's how that judge would have to be. Because literally it's identical. I sent it to another friend that's a mutual friend, and they were like, oh my gosh, you have to show this to her. It's hilarious. They're twins.
Right.
And she disagreed. So it's very, you know.
So you're saying it could happen.
Oh, I don't see it. I don't see it. It's not the same.
Okay, well, just in a few seconds, we're going to talk about Chelsea Clinton and how abortion can make you money. All right, let's talk about Chelsea Clinton and how abortion can make you money.
So,
right, well,
it can't.
No, right, yeah. Technically, no. Well, for Planned Parenthood, it does.
Yes.
That's about it, though. Okay, so
it
Chelsea
Clinton
is making this speech, and she's like, let me just tell you another good thing about abortion, okay?
Other than the fact that it completely kills people, and I like that.
Don't forget, look, money's more important than people, okay? But abortion added $3.5 trillion to the economy, okay? $3.5 trillion since 1973. And she had to put that 1973, and there was like, oh, I went 1973 because Roe v. Wade, and now women can just kill their babies and go to work now, and that's $3.5 trillion in the economy of working women.
Can you explain to me how it?
It's just all those women could now work instead of killing babies, or instead of raising babies.
Well, you could have just not had a baby in the first place.
Well, don't tell a leftist that. It's their body. They get to do with it what they want.
Hey, lefty, don't have the baby. Don't get pregnant.
Yeah, don't get pregnant.
Hey, there's this really good.
There's birth control pills.
My favorite. Hey, there's this
condoms.
really cool way of preventing pregnancy.
What?
It's very new.
Oh, okay.
I think it was created about 10,000 years ago. It's called "Don't Have Sex."
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, it can't happen then, can it?
I don't think so.
Like impossible.
It happened
basically.
once.
Oh, it did. You got me.
Whoa.
Okay, so back on to Crazy Chelsea. I'm gonna start making up names like Trump does. You know, like anytime he's mad at someone, he's like the despicable, crazy Chelsea Clinton, and that's what it calls him every time he tweets about it. So I'm gonna
That's
start
a
doing
clever one.
Despicable,
Crazy Chelsea.
Crazy Chelsea.
Whoa.
All right, so Crazy Chelsea, you got a problem here, Crazy Chelsea. She didn't account for all the dead people. All right, because babies are people.
Yeah.
If they were born, let's see. So the article I looked up was on the Federalist. And it was saying if that 3.5 trillion is represented for each child, that means a child's life is worth $60,000. There you go. That's the price of a child's life, $60,000.
So did they know how many children were?
Yeah, I forgot to paste it in my notes. Like it had the total number of children aborted.
Is that in this article right here?
Yeah, the Federalist article.
I'm going to try and look it up.
Hold on, I need the notes. I need the notes because I got more numbers. I can't remember numbers. I'm not mathy. I'm not a math whiz. All right. So, but if all those people were born, instead of 3.5 trillion added to the economy, if these people lived to the average age of 78, okay, they would have added $200 trillion to the economy.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah, 3.5, 200 is the same.
It's about the same.
Pro-abortion, right? Yeah, 3.5, 200 is the same. Yeah, abort.
Glad we established that.
Yeah, so basically, you could either not kill people and make $200 trillion for your economy, or you could kill people
and make 3.5.
Yeah. But I mean, killing people is so much fun, right? Planned Parenthood?
Hey, man. I don't think you're going to be able to use that to convince people, though, because that reminds me of the gun control thing where you're saving 3 million lives a year. 500,000 to 3 million.
Right.
But you're taking, 30,000?
But this
and
is
like
even
3/4 of that is suicide.
Though.
So, I don't think numbers really matter, unfortunately.
I just think that the main story on this is that it's disgusting. Okay?
I agree.
It's disgusting that I almost called her Hillary. Walking in
much.
Mama's footsteps.
Getting there.
That Crazy Chelsea. It's like, people, there's more and more people.
She's already showing an interest in killing people, so that's a good sign.
Oh, yeah, that is just
walking
like Hillary.
in Hillary's footsteps. Yeah.
Homicidal Hillary.
Homicidal Hillary.
Crazy Chelsea and homicidal Hillary. Okay, so the problem is she's like, okay, more and more every year people are becoming more anti-abortion.
I got another one.
How can I convince them? Oh, money. It's like, how disgusting is that?
Yeah.
All right, tell me what you wanted to say. Before you
I'm
forget
sorry.
it.
This is
No, go for it. Go for it.
Killer Bill.
Killer Bill. Killer Bill, Homicidal Hillary, and Crazy Chelsea. Tuesdays at 7 on NBC.
Can we have them all on the show and talk to them like that?
So disgusting.
JK, I don't want to die.
And then the final point, and I'll let it go, is if Republicans do this with guns, they're evil. Well, guns make $10 trillion in the economy. Evil. But killing babies make money is not evil. So it's like the left and the Democrats.
Just ignoring the fact that not killing them makes more money. Just ignoring that for a second.
Right.
They bring in $3.5 trillion. That's not evil. Killing them.
Right.
Guns, which protect people and save lives on the regular, that's evil because bullets.
And I guess our key word tonight is flip the script, because that's what the Democrats and the left do. Because isn't the Republicans supposed to be the party of make money no matter what?
Yeah.
But now it's the Democrats are the party of make money no matter what? And aren't the Republicans supposed to be the corporate party? But, all these West Coast and East Coast corporations that back leftist ideology. So the Democrats do such a good job of lying to the American people about what the Republicans or conservatives really are.
Yeah.
And this is part of it right here. I mean, they're just showing their true colors, but people still believe the lies about the Republicans and the conservatives and libertarians.
And this goes back to what we talked about a few episodes ago about how good they are at twisting facts, though. Because it's not even just – that's probably true. I don't think she was lying, but she failed to mention, and I don't think she didn't know, that if the babies hadn't died, there would have been $200 trillion boosting the economy instead of 3.5. I think she knew that. But that didn't benefit her.
Right.
So,
no, it didn't benefit her message.
So you drop that part, you twist the facts. You just you
like
tell
a used car
truth.
salesman.
Yeah.
Well, it's got 100,000 miles on it, but listen to her purr. And they don't tell them about the oil leak somewhere. You know what I'm saying? That's basically what they're doing. They're being a used car salesman.
Yeah. The whole left
is
a scumbag car salesman.
Yeah, basically. We just wrapped it up for
Brilliant.
you. Educating America again. We're
welcome. Saving them, man.
Yeah, man. We just.
I guess knowledge is power. So.
Yeah.
That's why you watch this show.
Knowledge is power. Knowledge. Okay.
I don't know why you did that, but knowledge is power.
The guy from that commercial that came on YouTube, every YouTube video for a while, he was in his basement. He was like.
Are you talking about the dude that had like cars?
That was on Ben Shapiro last Sunday too. Yeah.
I love that episode.
Knowledge, and he's like, I have my Lamborghini and all my books. And knowledge is how you get there.
I wanted to talk about him today. I forgot about that.
Well, we just did. Look at that.
That's awesome. Because I hated that guy for so long because I hated that commercial.
He's very annoying.
But then he had one more commercial that showed up all the time, which was the one where he's in his penthouse suite and he's got his daughter with him or something like that, and he's like, check out my penthouse suite in where was
Malibu.
No, it was in it was in New York somewhere. I can't remember where. Manhattan or something like that.
Okay.
Check out my penthouse in Manhattan. You can do this too. And then
with knowledge.
But the thing is, I made fun of him all the time. But then when I watched him on Ben Shapiro, he made a lot of good points. I was like, the dude's actually rich and smart.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you make fun of him that whole time. You're like, oh, he's a scam.
Right.
But
then
in the end, he's actually kind of
people still think he's a big scam, and I haven't read up on it a lot. But I mean, the guy's successful.
The dude's rich. All right, so I don't really care.
So
the dude gave away 11 cars last year.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know how you can make that much money on just a scam. You know what I mean? It can't just be this guy's a scammer.
What's his scam?
Yeah, I know. What's knowledge? Knowledge is a scam.
Telling you that you should read a book and then not promoting a specific book.
Maybe that's what it is.
No, if he was like, I've got all these books and I've got these cars. Knowledge is power. Read my book about it. That'd be one thing, but he didn't. He was just like, check it out. And he has a website, but the website's all free. Everything on it's free. Anyways, that's sidetracking.
That free tangent was brought to you by water in a mug. All right. What do we got next?
I got to plug my water in the mug.
Oh, okay. In a few seconds, we're going to talk about one of our new monthly segments called Surprise of the Month.
All right, so let's talk about surprise of the month.
All right, and so since it's August, we're going to talk about our big surprises of July.
Yes. So just to reestablish what this is, every month. Why is it doing that? I give up.
Oh well, it's good.
Every month, we're gonna have a surprise of the month for the previous month, and it's just gonna be one thing that really stuck out that month,
Right.
in the news or just something that happened that we
Right.
found.
It's,
Or an
it's kinda
overarching.
like
It
what
can be an overarching theme.
Right. It can be that thing we remember the month for.
Yeah, just whatever we remember the month for. It can be good, bad. It really doesn't matter. It's just going to be our surprise of the month. Now that this month it's bad,
Right.
but that's just how July went.
All right. You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay. So my surprise of July is the amazingly unintelligent, stupendously ignorant, and the iPad went off. Alejandra Castration Castro. Did I say it right that time?
Yes.
Okay. Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. All right, there you go.
Ocasio. There's no R.
Ocasio or Ocasio?
There's no R.
Ocasio. Okay.
What?
To me, like, do I want her to win? Do I want what's the guy that she beat in the primaries?
Don't ask me that.
He had like the dude who wrote the Satanic Bible's name. You know who that guy is?
We have an intern for
Grant.
this for a reason.
Look up who she beat. I know he's got. Is it Crawley? Is it Crawley? Mr. Crawley. Yeah, he's like the Satanic Bible guy, right? But not this guy, but another guy named Crawley. Joseph Crowley. Okay. All right. So
You've
she
confused me beyond belief, sir. Anyways.
So Joseph Crowley got beat in the primaries because basically no one showed up except for people who were excited about Alexandria, which were, I mean, it's a heavily Hispanic population. And so they were like, hey, there's this young Hispanic woman who wants to fight for us. Let's go for it.
They obviously didn't listen to her speak.
They obviously didn't know much about her, heard her say anything, because now we know who she is. And she's a giant ignoramus.
Speaking of her giant ignoramusness, did you...
Ignoramusness?
You thought that was funny.
Okay, go for it.
Our intern Caleb thought that was funny.
Intern Caleb.
I lost my train of thought. So, did you see where Ben Shapiro offered to give her $10,000 for her campaign?
Oh man!
Did you
That's
see her
why
response?
I want her to win sometimes.
Her response was ridiculous.
I know.
And I'm trying to remember what it was.
Well, she said that he was catcalling her.
Oh, that's right,
by
catcalling.
asking for a debate and donating money to either her campaign or a charity
of her
choice.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
Because every time you would ask someone for a debate, that'd be catcalling.
Yeah.
Hey, Caleb, you want a debate?
Look,
Sorry, I didn't mean to offend you with my catcalling.
So basically, the left does anything it can to shut down debates. To abate debates. To shut down debates.
Yeah.
Because they can't debate. They have no proof to back them up, no solid data, and then all the other side has to do is go, Venezuela.
It's funny
USSR. You know, it's
I mean, I really want to see her in a debate though, because even when she's interviewed by someone on the left, that's like on her side, like, you go, girl. Now tell me about this little minor detail. She's like, well, Pelosi, our head leader. We really think, I really think we have some leadership. In the head of our leadership of Pelosi.
Yeah, so, she was basically, she is the leader of our party in the House. Yeah. It's like, okay, that's something I could just Google.
Yeah.
I don't.
That's
need
not
you
what
for
he
that.
asked.
Yeah. I love how I got an economics degree from Rutgers, and if a person has more than one job, excuse job growth numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, Ocasio should have had a V8.
She should have had about 13 V8s.
She has been. Oh my God. She must
she's,
live on cardboard for her
really
brain to work that way.
I just really want to see her debate.
Anything. She debate a brick wall with just questions on it?
That it just says,
she would lose.
It doesn't even have to be political. It could just say, "Are you human? And then she can debate it. Just
Oh
answer the
my
question.
gosh. All right, so that's my biggest surprise of July because she's in second place because you know who my first place is for dumbest politician of all time. Dumbest politician of all time still goes to ding, 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 ding. Hank Johnson, who said Guam was going to tip over
looked
if
it
too
up.
many people were on there.
That is my favorite
Dean,
thing
you got to
ever.
put a little Hank. They
He
got to
didn't
know
just
who
say
Hank
it.
Johnson
He
is.
didn't just say it.
No,
He in a
he's in like a military briefing or
yeah,
something.
He's in an investigation
Okay.
by the
I just know there was military there, and they were looking
Yeah.
at him like,
well, he
I
asked
must
the general.
respect
He asked the
public
general.
officials.
He asked the general, "Do we need to stop sending Marines to
That
Guam?
was it.
Because if we keep sending them and they're only on one side because the military base is only on one
Right.
side, is it gonna cause it to tip over into the ocean?"
Is it going to capsize?
Yeah. And then the guy he asked was like, no.
It's
Is
like,
this a trick
yeah,
question?
like, how do I answer this without being severely disrespectful and lose
Do
my
you,
job? No, sir.
So have you ever heard of an island? Do you know how Earth works?
Yeah, I know. Do you know how planet Earth works? Do you know what is in the what's in the water at the bottom? Do you know what's under an island? So basically, Hank Johnson thinks islands
Something is under the
float.
island. Yes.
So Hank. How come Guam hasn't floated all the way into the Gulf of Mexico if it's not connected to anything? Okay.
That was
Sorry, I'm on a Hank Johnson.
Man, that was,
tangent.
are you kidding? That
But
was
he's
the best.
he is the dumbest, most
That's-
hilarious politician
I've
of all
never
time.
heard such a dumb question in my
Yeah.
life.
Couldn't you just see one day we wake up and we're like looking out over the Gulf and it's like, here comes
Hey,
Guam. And they're
what's
like,
that?
"Hey,
What?
we're gonna be part of it.
Oh no, they're tipping
We're
over!
gonna be a real state now.
It's
So-
too late though because they flipped over. Because they all got so
Oh,
excited
yeah,
they ran to the
we
front
sent that one last
of the
Marine.
island and that's,
Okay.
that's the noise it made.
Okay, you can go for your surprise. of
Okay.
July.
I'm just gonna say San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San
Okay.
Francisco. Everything about it. Can we end it there? Oh no. You want me to go into detail?
Just give me the details.
Okay,
yeah, we're
so,
getting low on our time.
Poop streets,
Poop streets.
heroin needles,
Heroin needles everywhere.
no straws, which we established earlier
Are
does absolutely
perfectly-
nothing.
Yeah, right.
$15 minimum wage.
Right.
In a state that already has an $11 minimum wage, which is pretty high in itself. And what was the last one? Oh yeah, no cafeterias in business
businesses
places.
not being able to serve food to their employees.
So socialism.
basically,
Yeah.
like
I mean, they're
hardcore
testing.
authoritarian socialism.
They're
too.
testing
Just,
out
yeah.
socialism in
Yeah,
San
doing it
Francisco,
right.
and it's not working.
No, if
Hey.
if you want to see if it works, people
Look
who are
it-
wondering about Alexandria, just go look at San Francisco and see what kind of trouble they're in. Okay, it's trash.
And you know
trash,
what?
Trash.
If they had looked at Venezuela
Yeah, I know, right?
or any of the other socialist states that didn't,
Well, San Francisco's
succeed.
been down on this path way before Venezuela.
yeah, but
tipped
they've been going
over.
real slow,
Yeah,
like real slow, because they have to do it in a democratic
right.
democratic state.
That's a good surprise because I always knew like San Francisco, nutty people, super leftist, but I didn't know it was this bad. Over
it's
there,
so bad.
It was a big surprise.
So that's my choice for surprise of the month. I wasn't
Do the
surprised.
jingle, Dean, for
Whoa.
surprise of the month. All right, thanks, Dean.
Great. Now we have to make a jingle.
I gotcha. All right. So one more topic before we do our special segment that we do every podcast.
Don't
We're
give it
gonna
away.
Talk about a new segment that will probably be showing its
So
face
the
again.
other new segment. So we've done surprise of the month. Now we have another new segment that we're going to discuss every month or so. So in a second we're going to talk about, is Trump racist?
Yeah, is Trump a racist? Maybe.
So let's talk about, is Trump a racist?
Okay, so the things that make Trump a racist this week and last week, okay?
Well, make it questionable. We have to determine whether
Right.
he's
Yeah,
racist
we
or
got
not.
to figure. Okay, so Omarosa was fired like a dog. Okay, you do it. You're better, Trump.
Oh gosh. Omarosa was fired like a dog.
Yeah, all I can do is go billion,
Fired like a dog.
billion dogs.
You're fired, you dog.
Okay, so does this make him a racist?
Depends on what kind of dog.
Oh, yeah.
See, I had a Maltese, and that was the whitest. I mean, not even just in color, which it was, but that was a white boy.
So if he would have said, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, you're fired like a chihuahua, that would be
That would have been
racist.
That would have been a little racist. But he just said dog. See, Buster, my white Maltese boy, was first of all, his name was Snowball before we got him,
Okay.
and he acted like it.
A snowball? Like
Like
you
he
pick
just-
him up and throw him at people and he's really
That's
cold?
pretty much.
Okay.
He was just the whitest white boy. If he walked up on a pit bull in the wrong neighborhood, man, he'd have been a chew toy, just like me.
Right.
So,
I
don't think it's
calls
he didn't mean it.
Here's
Like,
the thing.
what does that have to do with race?
That's the point. It has nothing to do with race. Okay, but let me point out that let's see. Oh, goodness. I cannot remember who it was. Somebody was talking about it. This one guy was saying that it's one step away from genocide because in Rwanda they called the Tutsi cockroaches, and then like in Mao's China or something they called people rats or something. It was like that's how you label ethnic groups. It's like
Except that,
if you count them, he's
but-
called more white people dogs than he has black people
Also,
dogs.
also in Mao's China,
It
they
might not
called
be
a
Mao's China,
specific
though.
group of people based on their race
Mhm.
rats.
Right,
Trump called one person a dog
right,
who he did not like,
right,
who got fired for doing bad things.
right. Who
A
he's
dog.
called other people dogs that get fired and he doesn't like them.
Yeah.
So there's no basis for
It's
it.
not race based.
And I'm gonna
It's
tie that in with the next
work.
one.
It's your it's your work crap. I can't think of words. Work ethic based.
Work ethic. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're a
Gosh.
dog. You don't work. I mean, like back in the day, you called someone a dog because they were like unfaithful and cheated on
Yeah.
people. He's such a dog. Has nothing to do with race.
Also, kind of dumb though, because dogs are the most faithful.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So Trump's
Trump,
like
get it straight. It's a cat.
um,
He's fired like a cat.
like a cat.
Fired like a cat. That cat was unfaithful.
Okay, so I'm going to tie that first one into the second one and show you how crazy it is when they say, oh, he says one thing, but he also says it about other things, but it's still racist.
It's still
So
racist.
when he said LeBron was like dumb or stupid, he was like, LeBron, you're dumb, you're stupid. I like Mike. And they're like, he's racist. He said LeBron was dumb and stupid, paraphrasing. But it's like,
He
did y'all
said
read
he
the
likes Michael
he said
Jordan.
He likes Michael Jordan.
Who, if I'm remembering correctly, slightly darker than LeBron James.
Well, here's my thing. Like Michael Jordan,
Just saying.
Michael Jordan, if you're listening, he's not listening. You're white. I just want you to know that the media has decided that you're a white guy because he said LeBron's
Hey,
stupid,
Mike.
but he likes you, but he's still racist.
Is there some way we can like direct messages to Michael Jordan?
Hashtag Michael Jordan.
Hashtag Michael Jordan, please watch this.
Okay.
You are white now.
Yeah. So since Trump likes you, but he hates LeBron, he's still racist, so he can't technically
Is this
like
because
you
he
if you're
played
black.
baseball for a little while? Is that why he's white?
It whitened him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right, but there's another way the media and the left just like they make no logical sense about anything they do.
Okay, well, there's a lot of ways they do that.
All right. Oh, I'm running out of time. Okay, so the whole firing Brennan thing, there was a Huffington
You don't have to
Post.
talk faster. That's not gonna help.
And
we're done!
There's a Huffington Post article because, after he rejected Brennan's security clearance, he's like, all right, I got a list of other people I want to do it to. And guess
I
what?
love how that was like a half Trump impersonation, and he just gave up on it.
Out of the 5 or 6 people he wants to do it to, one of them is black, Susan Rice. So Trump is a racist because one of them is black. He just does it to white people so he can sneakily do it to a black
course.
person too.
That's how to be a real racist.
Yeah, you hurt the white people
You
too. You got to
say-
disguise it.
You say that you don't like one black person, but you like another one because really you don't like either of them.
Right.
But you get to say that you don't like one of them,
And you revoke
and you
a
revoke
a bunch of
bunch of
clearances for
clearances
white
for
people,
white people.
just so you can do it to
Yes.
that one black person.
Those other 4 people are insignificant and irrelevant.
Right.
Doesn't matter who they are.
Yeah. So
As long as they're white.
So here's another way that, gosh, the left and the media just, oh gosh, it hurts sometimes. Just
Oh my gosh, this one, I love this one, man.
What?
The next one on the list.
What? Has Trump said the N-word?
So the first time I
Has he?
saw this, I just saw an article. I think it was CNN. I'm not entirely sure. And it just said, we can't prove that Trump didn't say the N-word in the tapes. And I said, yeah, because you haven't heard the tapes, and I can't prove that he didn't say anything in those tapes.
I can't prove that he didn't say it.
I
That's
can't
hilarious.
I can't prove that Trump didn't say JC and the Beardless is the best podcast on the internet.
Right,
in
we can't
those
prove
tapes.
it.
We can't prove it, so...
We can't prove it. So he might have said we are the best.
It's
we
possible.
can't prove it. That's, according to left logic
again,
right there.
It goes back, twisting things in such a way.
Yeah.
That is probably my favorite twist I've seen yet, though.
Yeah.
I love that
It's
one.
like, we can't prove that
so...
Trump didn't
Yeah.
tape Shark Week over Nixon's tapes. We can't prove that he didn't do it.
We can't. So therefore, we're going to convince you
that he did.
Yes, that he did by saying,
and we're going to convince
by
you
implying it.
that
Implication
JC and the
is
Beardless is his favorite podcast.
The left's favorite tool is implication.
Right.
So they just imply something
Right. And
without
get you
actually
thinking
stating as
about
fact.
it. Right.
And then whenever he pops in your head, you're like, oh, that must be true. I heard it from CNN.
Right.
Which now it's kind of the opposite.
So
Oh, that must be a lie because I heard
want
it
to
from
leave
CNN.
this off on one question. If he did say the N-word, and there's proof he said the N-word, does that make him a racist? What does that do to him? What does that mean?
Okay, so Trump was raised a long time ago.
Right.
He's ancient.
Right.
When you were growing up, completely different era, even more recent, so things would have been far less acceptable. How was the N-word viewed in your generation, growing up?
Well, in my generation, which I think when I was growing up, we had the most unity I've seen in a long time in this country, like in the 90s and 2000s. And I don't know, you just didn't hear much negative stuff about it. Like the media wasn't this Jabba the Hutt of negativity and race baiting that it is today. So, like, I just remember everybody using it, but not the ER version, the A version, just because that was like, it would keep, like when "what up" came out, okay? I don't know if any of y'all remember that. "What up?" That word, but with the A at the end of it, was basically everybody's like greeting to each other no matter what race you were.
Yeah, I mean, even growing up, I'm 23, and when I was growing up, it wasn't that bad. I heard people using variants of that word all the time. White people and black people like to each other.
Right.
As if it was nothing.
That's
I
what I'm
actually
saying,
got called that a lot growing up. And as you can tell,
right.
I don't qualify for that title.
I went to high school in a school that was like 70% African American. And so it just was a normal word that everybody used. And
so my point
seems like it's worse now because of the
my point on that is
identity
not
politics.
that it's acceptable to say the
No,
word
it's
in
not
today's
acceptable.
culture.
Right.
But when you're raised one way and you grow up in an era where it's okay to do that kind of thing, sometimes you forget, you slip, it happens.
Right.
Like, I mean, I'm sure that I have habits that I do now that people, 5 years from now won't do anymore, and they'll be like, "What's wrong with that guy?"
Right.
You don't do that anymore.
Right.
Well, I was raised doing it, so. And I'm not saying it's acceptable. I don't make it okay.
It's still
you can't
not
just go around
acceptable,
saying it.
Yeah.
But
and I think it'd still hurt him politically.
Oh,
big
absolutely.
Time. Yeah.
Good Lord, yes.
And I don't approve of it.
But I don't think it makes him a racist.
Right. I mean, I don't think it necessarily does, but it's still dangerous to even. I mean, as me, who's been an educator for years and years, there's tons of words I don't say anymore. I have a drastically different vocabulary. So you would think someone like Trump, who's in politics now, if it's a tape that's super old. Well, I get when you're a $1 billion businessman, you just say whatever you want to because you don't care.
I also want to point out something.
But in politics, you do have to make sure that you're not you're kind of like this cultural icon. Well, that's what it's become in the past 20 years to America. So you can't say things like that because you really will make a segment of society feel like that
Yeah.
they are being oppressed by the most powerful person in the
Oh
country.
yeah, I'm not saying it's okay.
Right. Well, no, I'm not saying you didn't.
I'm
just
just
saying
saying
that, yeah, it's still something that's...
that he might not have meant it in a way that they. I feel like we put too much in today's culture. This is just an overall Western civilization thing. We put too much weight and merit on words, on what people say, and actions are what's important.
Right.
Important, not words. Okay, you can say all the racist things you want, and you might be a racist, but if you're not doing anything racist, really, I mean, I'm not saying I like you,
Right.
but in society, what issue are you really causing?
Right, you're not
Okay,
causing
if
any
you're
issues.
running a
Right, I see what you're
business,
saying, yeah.
if you're running a business, and you say no black people are allowed in my business, that's one thing. You're
Mm-hmm.
actually that's an action you're causing. If you're going around punching people because they are of one race, that's not okay.
Right.
And I'm not saying it's okay to say things, but I think we put too much merit on it.
Right. We think it
To the
affects
point
too
that
much
to the
stuff,
point
right.
that when non-racist people say things that can be skewed as racist, those people get labeled and ruined.
Right.
Their life gets ruined
Well,
because
yeah,
they said
that
something.
happens, and that's crazy that people say something that's completely not racist,
Yeah.
but the
But it
Twitter
can be
mob
twisted
says
that
it's
way.
racist,
Yeah.
and now they're getting fired, or you know.
So that's I'm not saying it's okay to be racist, and I'm not saying it's okay to say racist things, but when you put that much weight and merit on something, on words, that's the outcome. You start
Right.
punishing people that don't deserve to be punished
Right.
for actions that affect nobody.
Right.
So
But I still think as a community leader, or a political leader, or government leader, you have to take the higher.
oh yeah, you
standard,
got to be
right.
careful.
So, I
Again,
mean-
it's not okay if he said it.
I
it's
mean,
not
if
okay.
he said it, here's the thing: if I have to choose between Trump and Booker or whoever else running for president,
Still voting Trump.
I mean, I can't. Yeah, I mean, if he said that one time, I hate that. I hate it, but
Yeah,
I
it's
cannot
not
let
okay.
some leftist dictator ruin my
And
country.
again, you'd have to hear the context. You have to know what he said. But just because he said the N word doesn't make him racist.
Right.
Like
I
if he
think-
said it, like
right.
those deadgum ends,
Right.
that's one thing.
right.
That's racist.
Yeah, yeah.
But if he was just like, my N, you know?
And here's the thing: we're discussing this, but they can't verify that he didn't say
That's-
it.
okay,
so it's
let's-
like we're having this big
The main
discussion.
point here is that there's no evidence that he actually said it,
Right.
but they can't prove that he didn't. So they're
Yeah,
using that.
But if he did, that's bad. Like, he could be something that could affect him. Like, he might step down after his first term. It might be so detrimental to him and the Republican Party that after the first term, he said he was done because there's no way he could get reelected. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the Republicans would have to put someone else up instead of Trump.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of effect it could have. It could be that big.
It could be dangerous for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
And again, it's not okay.
Right, yeah.
if
It's
he did.
not
But
okay.
again,
It's not okay.
There's no evidence that he did. They're just using this.
Right.
And if he, I mean, maybe they have something, maybe they know something we don't. But it's kind of dumb to just twist that. You know,
Right,
just wait until it comes out.
right.
Then
So-
people hear it.
All right, in the comments, or if you want to tweet us or anything, let us know. Is Trump racist?
Is Trump racist? Based
Tell,
on those,
tell us which one of these was
based
the
on
most
those-
significant to convince you, yes or no.
yeah.
All right, if you say yes.
One last segment, my friend.
All right.
All right, in a few seconds, we're going to talk about extremely late movie reviews.
All right, Dean, you got to, make sure we actually...
Extremely late movie reviews.
Was that our
Yes!
best one yet? All
The
right.
best one yet.
All right.
All right, so what are we reviewing
We
this
are
week?
doing Back to the Future.
I believe we're going to do the whole trilogy we're going to do it as a whole
As a whole? Okay.
instead of individual movies because
Okay. I remember
they're too
most of just
similar.
the first one. Yeah, but go for it. You remember more than I did. You had some very significant scenes. All I
Okay,
can remember
so
is like the betting scene.
I don't
and-
want this one. I'm not going to get into huge detail about because everyone and their mother has seen Back to the
Right.
Future.
Oh wait, spoiler alert! Just in case, spoiler alert.
Okay, I'll say that I like the movie, all of them. I like the first one the most because
Yeah.
it was the most significant. It was
Oh,
kind of one of
yeah.
those ones that we talked about when we talked about Harry Potter. They kind of just did the whole thing all in the first movie and then it kept
Right.
going.
Yeah. If you do too much in the first movie, the
Yeah.
sequels aren't going to be as exciting.
So they were only fun kind of because they're so sci-fi and
Right.
I mean, it was fun, but they
yeah,
weren't.
yeah, they were.
They
Still
didn't
good,
establish anything new really.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So they weren't my favorite, but I really like the first one, and as a whole, I like them. I like Michael J. Fox; he's a good actor.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's a piece of Americana. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? It's like culturally significant.
However,
Okay.
there is an issue that I find with the first movie.
All right, yeah. Now you told me about this, and I think
This
it's hilarious.
issue is
But
significant.
no one's really thought about this.
This is
There
not.
probably is someone out
probably.
there, but yeah, I want to hear you.
It's
you
not
talk about
okay, is what I say. So in the first movie, if you've seen it, and you have most likely, Biff, the antagonist, essentially tries to rape Marty McFly's mother. And then Marty McFly's father, whose name I've forgotten, punches him out, saves his future wife. They go to the dance together, all this kind of stuff. 20 years later, Marty McFly's dad decides that it is not only acceptable but smart and just the great thing to do to hire the guy that tried to rape his future wife when they were teenagers.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Right. He just believes in rehabilitation.
Yeah, you can
Gonna
go
rehabilitate him with a job.
rehabilitate in a prison cell, sir.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only really big issue. I think
That's
that
like the biggest plot.
no, I will
for
say
you.
that one of the things I like about Back to the Future is there's a lot of theories, film theories that have come from it. And
Right.
a lot of them are dark, and I kind of find that amusing.
Right.
Like that Doc Brown is extremely depressed and actually wants to die, and he didn't expect his car to work, and then it did, and he was like, what?
What? Oh my gosh, my life is renewed.
Yeah.
So, do you like the type of time travel in Back to the Future? Because there's Terminator time travel, Back to the Future time travel, Doctor Who time. There's all these different types of time travel, and they mostly have to do with, can you affect the future when you go to the past, or can you not?
I really like Back to the Futures because they tried to make it. I mean, if you tweak just the smallest thing, it's going to have a massive effect on the future, and I really like that. That's really cool to me.
Right. See, I really like the movie, but I tend to prefer the other type of time travel where the entire movie is, you're like, oh, are they affecting the past? Are they changing things? Are things going to happen? This or that? But then all of a sudden, once you get to the end of it, it's, oh, we couldn't have changed anything anyway. Everything was set in stone, and the past we went back to do was affected because we went back, and it was going to happen the same way anyway. You see what I'm saying?
I prefer the ones where
it's
the
like
future,
that existential version where you can never change anything.
Where the future isn't set in stone because it makes more sense logically to me.
Okay.
Like, because if the future's set in stone, then what do you have to look forward to in life? You're just living out a predestined, boring.
Well, if it's not set in stone, get a time machine, right?
And yeah, and then you can go back and try to change it, and nothing's gonna happen, and then you can cry in your corner alone. I like the Back to the Future style.
Right. What you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna give it 3 out of 5 stars.
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
I'm gonna give it.
I would say that rape will knock off at least 2 stars. Yes.
I think it's such an important series. I think I'm gonna give it probably 3.5. 3.5 stars.
You madman.
Yeah.
Wow. Just gonna ignore Biff and his sexual prowess.
I just think it's such an important movie, and it influenced so many other movies.
I agree.
And TV shows.
Really, I mean, they're good
like
movies.
I said, it's a piece of Americana. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's, just the
impact.
And
again, Michael J. Fox is a great actor.
Right.
He made the series. I like it. Again, 3 stars is that's a good rating from me. So.
Well, yeah. Anything over 2 is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2.5. That's the when you tip it either way.
That's the tipping point.
Yeah, because half.
All right. I think we wrapped up everything today, right?
All right, man.
All right. We changed some hearts and minds, saved some
Saved
people from
America. Do we need to end with like a Saving America one podcast at a time?
Saving America one podcast at a time.
If you're gonna salute, you better do it. You take that. You salute on the side.
Saving America one podcast at a time.